participants. Today we have here Dr. B.K. Sahu sir. He is the Regional Manager NRDC, Government of India, Visakhapatnam. Dadi Institute of Engineering and Technology has an MOU with NRDC. I request Sunita madam to please introduce Dr. B.K. Sahu sir.
Good afternoon once again, everyone. I am Ms. Sunita, Assistant Professor of English from Dadi Institute of Engineering and Technology, Visakhapatnam. I'm extremely delighted and feel privileged to introduce our esteemed guest speaker. Dr. Vijay Kumar Sahu earned his MSc and then MPhil and PhD from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, specialized in intellectual property rights and technological capacities with special references in India. Presently, Dr. Sahu is heading NRDC MO MSME Intellectual Properties Facilitation Center IPFC and United Nations WIPO Technology and Innovation Support Center at Visakhapatnam, National Research Development Corporation, NRDC, Government of India. Dr. Sahu recently confirmed and received Global IP Convention Awards by GIPC during 12th Global IP Convention at Vignan Bhavan for the promotion of IP and innovation in India and abroad. He has considered as 100 influential IP leader from India by World IP Forum for the year 2017. Recently, he was invited as a keynote speaker of United Nations UNESCO EdTech 2018 on IP innovation in educational curriculum. Dr. Sahu has facilitated many patents, trademark, design, copyright, and other IP to various universities, startups, MSMEs, and transferred and commercialized many lab skill technologies to MSMEs and industries. Dr. Sahu coordinated a Government of India task force study on innovation policies in China, Korea, and Taiwan as implications for India and visited many countries. He is also guest faculty of IPs and technology management and mentor on IP in many prominent institutions and universities and startup ecosystems of STPI of Government of India in the country. Welcome, sir. It's a great opportunity for having your aghast presence with all of us today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Sunita madam. Now I request Dr. B.K. Sahu sir to continue the session.
Thank you, Dadi Institute of Engineering Technology, for inviting me. And thank you, madam, for your kind introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. It is a privilege for me to join with you in this today. The topic related to IoT and intellectual property under the Startup India mission. And I am seeing from the participant list, I think many participants from across the country. It's really a privilege for me. And the topic what we are going to discuss today is very, very close to each faculty of who are part of this IoT activity, particularly in the under the Startup India mission. Friends, today in a very challenging time we are going through, and this is the one thing. This is the biggest challenge in our human civilization, as far as we know. So, how technology plays an important role, and the role of intellectual property, particularly you all are the academics or faculty and researcher or the students. But in the present time, when we talked about technology, now we have been talking about Industry 4.0, a technology enabler for the society. And as far as the Industry 4.0 is concerned, IoT is certainly one of the technology which plays a very important role, and there is a great visibility of this revolution of this Industry 4.0. One side, we have a pandemic. We need innovation to mitigate this pandemic, and we need academia industry collaboration. How academia can come out with some kind of solution and the knowledge to mitigate this pandemic, so that the industry can, the knowledge can be transferred to the industry or connect to the industry, and the industry can come out with some kind of solution. And in due course of time, you all are aware that many universities, particularly Oxford University, Serum Institute of in India, and also AstraZeneca, they have collaborated, and the trial of vaccine, corona vaccine, is going on, and hopefully we'll get the this vaccine in the next quarter. So point today is that how academia plays an important role in this challenging time. So we must think how academia and industry collaboration should be there. And you all are the researcher faculties. You have the capability of doing some research and innovation. So there are a lot of projects from the government of India, many public sector organization, and also corporate. So how you can connect, collaborate in research funding, particularly contract research, grant-in-aid research, collaborative research, so that you can make the difference tomorrow in the knowledge society, because we are in the biggest challenge today when we talked about this COVID-19 is concerned. So my topic, as you know, is Internet of Things and Intellectual Property under Startup India mission. And you know, Government of India has a mission or the flagship program. It's called Make in India, Startup India, Digital India. Now it is Self-Reliant India or Atmanirbhar Bharat. I am happy that there is a good number of participants today. I think 50. So let me tell you how IoT is going to play a role in this knowledge economy today, and what is the role of intellectual property. So when we talked about this technology, IoT, Internet of Things, and intellectual property, you might be thinking, what is this intellectual property we are talking about? And you all are the faculties, you are the budding students on IoT, or maybe in this IT or computer science. So intellectual property is nothing but your creativity, your idea, your invention, your project, your design, your data, that are you must have to protect in the form of intellectual property, because that is your creativity. And if you are having that, if there is any process commercialization or any industry technology in IoT, the ownership, you will not only get a respect, recognition, you will get also a intangible asset creation or tangible asset creation in terms of licensing of your idea or technology to the startup and MSME. That's the role of intellectual property and IoT. And you know about Startup India. And I have some story I'll talk about the IoT and value creation in the country. When we talked about smart city, when we talked about augmented virtual augmented reality, artificial intelligence. So all these, how the ecosystem is there. And as a students, as a faculties, if you want to do research, you need some research funding. How and where to you connect and submit your proposal, because you have many ideas for that, and many things you might be wanted to do, but you are not getting a opportunity or connect to the department or the peoples. So I think I am the right person to connect you all, and keep in touch with me. And certainly you, my email ID is there, I have written. And so our job is to connect the dot, help to the individual scientists, faculties, researcher in intellectual property protection, and also commercialization, R&D recognition, and entrepreneurship creation, and innovation management in academia, industry, and government. So I think you know about all this flagship program of Government of India today, and this is going on. And also many institutional ecosystem has created, particularly under the Startup India mission. And you know all about Digital India and also Skill India, but I'll certainly talk about Startup India. And Startup India mission is to create a single point of contact for the entire startup ecosystem to enable knowledge exchange and access of funding. So anyone who have a proposal and project and wanted to be an entrepreneur or create a startup, and you faculty are also eligible to create a startup. I'll tell you how and what is the mechanism. So Startup India mission is there. Anyone who have the idea, you propose that idea, get registered as a Startup India company, as a startup, and you will get all kind of support, including seed funding and opportunity of angel funding and others venture funding are there. So friends, I need not to talk about all this, the from first generation of industrial revolution to present generation, the fourth generation of industrial revolution, what we have been talking about, IoT, artificial intelligence, big data. So now there is a transformation and there is a change of ecosystem as far as new technology is concerned, and certainly under Industry 4.0, IoT plays a very important role in this time. So we must have to accept, and there is a growing change. In the growing change, we must have to change, and we have to connect with the time. And as per the time, we will get the opportunity, and we have to vigil on that. That we must have to understand as far as this industrial revolution, Industry 4.0 is concerned. So, friends, there are three aspects here. I will talk about intellectual property. I'll talk about data. I'll talk about standard, and all these are connected to this Industry 4.0 because all these innovations are coming various geographical location, various region, data, creativity, invention, and also standard. And when there is a licensing and cross licensing of technology, there is a term called standard essential patent and free and reasonable transfer of technology, normally tax principal fund technology. That standard we talked about as far as the standard is concerned. So here in the business model, new technology, various solution to dispute, there is certainly a intellectual property plays a very important role. But as far as the data is concerned, data we have to manage. There should not be a piracy of the data. There should not be a mismanagement of data, particularly when we talked about IoT, blockchain, or Industry 4.0. So Industry 4.0, many of the speaker might have spoke all these things. I need not to let me also jump to what is the opportunity for you. Let me talk practically what is the opportunity in India as far as the Indian Internet of Things market is concerned. So let me tell you, there is a growing system as far as the IoT is concerned, and people are moving towards this technology application. And there is a growing investment of $60 million investment made in 2014 and in the startup sector. And there is a utilities of manufacturing leading to vertical with the demand of IoT solution. There are around 150 IoT farms established so far in the country, more than 150. And there are around 60 to 65 shareable IoT startup in India. And there is a US 1 billion rupees investment planned by the government of India for the 100 smart cities on IoT, and that is the biggest ecosystem we have created at this time. So these are the opportunity, and these are the growing challenge. And also there is a revenue share of industrial revenue in IoT is 55%. This is the IoT market scenario in the country, and in this market scenario, you must have to understand the innovation part and also the creativity part and ownership part, how the creator or inventor of this kind of technology will get the benefit through protection of intellectual property. So I think this will give you some kind of snapshot overview of Indian IoT market in the country as far the NASSCOM report is concerned. And also let me also tell you the government of India initiative towards the Internet of Things policy. So IoT industry is slated to reach 300 billion globally, and there is a number of globally with the number of connected devices expected to be 27 billion by 2020, as per a report of Gartner. And India will have a share of 5 to 6% of the global IoT industry. The launch of Digital India program and Smart City concept of the Government of India provide a fund and also impetus of the Government of India policy towards IoT industry in the country. And the government is also making effort to promote IoT industry in India and came out with excellent policy draft. And that draft talked about the IoT center creation, raw material import subsidy, and support of participation in international global trade fairs through various organizations, and also IoT curriculum introduced in academics and setting up incubation center. These are the 5 policy measures taken by Government of India, particularly boosting the IoT opportunity in India, because skill is very, very important today, and we must have to create a skill set students so that they will be able to make the difference in the growing opportunity of this IoT in the country. And this is the institutional ecosystem created by Government of India by creating such kind of institution or ecosystem where we all are part of that, and we must have to enhance the opportunities so that we can make the difference in this present time. Let me also tell you about the Internet of Things, the IoT, what we talked about has advanced, probably the most stunning ecosystem today, and India is a part of the worldwide IoT. And you know, many companies like Google, IBM, Intel, Ericsson, Cisco, Intel, Apple, Amazon, they have taken the IoT space, but at the same time, there is a growing number of startup in the country, and many startup has in recent time done a fantastic work in the country, particularly under the Startup India mission, and they have got many benefit and also of getting the opportunity from the government. And as per the IDC report, IoT will gather 6 trillion of investment till 2020. So there is a opportunity, and there is a opportunity of investment that we must have to see, and that means there is a opportunity of job, there is an opportunity of investment, and there is an opportunity of new things that will make the difference to the society. And the worldwide spending of IoT product and service will hit 772.5 billion by 2019, and Government of India is burning through 1 billion spending plan to already I talked about smart city under the Ministry of Information Technology, and there are many programs now. Government of India is through Center of Excellence has created in collaboration with PPP model with various organization, industry, IT association with NASCOM, and many of the publicly funded organization through Tide 1, Tide 2, Tide 3 program. So these are the opportunity and also initiative of Government of India as far as this IoT is concerned. Second, I would like to tell you, Government of India has also created a fund for national policy on software product development, and for that 1500 crore rupees has kept for that. Out of 500 crore are research and innovation fund. That means those researchers who wanted to work on a particular sector of technology, they can propose to the Government of India and get the fund, and can be do a grant in aid research program through a collaborative way, and that technology can also transfer to the industry, and that kind of value addition the academics or engineering college or university can make the difference under this plan. And this is called SPDF fund of Government of India through Ministry of Information Technology for software product development. So friends, another opportunity in the government level, particularly under for Industry 4.0 under the Department of Heavy Industries of Government of India, under Government of India, there is a program Samarth called Smart Advanced Manufacturing and Rapid Transportation Hub, or it's called Udyog Bharat 4.0. So in that there is a capacity building, because today we need capacity building to all the stakeholder of this area of technology. Awareness, capacity building, master training to be trained, startup incubator to be provided, because we need an ecosystem where we can assemble the thing, incubate the thing, and also leverage the thing. That kind of incubation center we must have provided, and Government of India has done. And there is a handholding for SMEs plan and implementation in this sector, collaborating neighborhood universities, because let me tell you, academia industry collaboration, particularly present government is giving more importance, because there is a growing challenge of import of technology, particularly if you'll see in the present pandemic. Now we are capable enough in manufacturing in the PPE kits. Before March, we were importing PPE kits from various countries, including China. But today, we are capable enough to manufacture. So we need a manufacturing innovation and create a sustainable innovation and indigenous ecosystem so that we can create a job, we can create opportunity, we can create the collaboration, particularly university. And industry and student training and internship program, and also there is a special purpose vehicle membership model for in bringing industry towards this industry 4.0. And ultimately there are around 4 center excellence center has created by government of India in Pune, IISc Bangalore, CMTI Bangalore. So these, and also IIT Delhi, for manufacturing of this kind of technology related to industry 4.0 under Samarth program of Department of Heavy Industries, Government of India. So this is the opportunities, this is the initiative of government, and also you should be part of that, because the way some of the center for industry of 4.0, C4I4 lab, Pune, IIT Delhi, they have got fund and also created the ecosystem, and institutional ecosystem is very, very important. And with the way we talked about all this thing, it is just a awareness. I am just giving you information, but you must have to create as an engineer or engineering faculty in your institution, so that there should be a bridge between academia and industry where people will get the benefit, and certainly the industry will come out with new solution for this challenge what we are going through. So friends, you know, innovation is a long-term health of economy. Without innovation, we are not going to sustain in this ecosystem. And innovation is needed in our academics also, innovation is needed in our institution also, and the institution must have to create that kind of ecosystem. And you know, in the country today, unfortunate part is that nobody talks about Indian university who are developing any kind of solution or vaccine and medicine for corona. But today we are talking about many foreign institutions and university. So that is the credibility in the knowledge society and role of the university bringing new innovations to the society. So university or institution plays a very important role, because you are having largest talent pool are there and many ideas with them, and we have to leverage that idea, and from their ideas to concept, then that can be protected. And protection is very, very important in the global WTO scenario. We must have to protect our intellectual property in the form of patent, trademark, copyright, design. So as you are working in an institution, your today the value of your intellectual property is your patent, maybe your design, and if the design used in the industry, certainly you will get the benefit as a tangible asset creation in terms of royalty or licensing fees. At the same time, your credibility will be there in the market that you have developed that kind of solution at this challenging time. So we need a skill set ecosystem in the institutional level. And let me tell you, I used to go many engineering college, interact with many students. Unfortunate part is that they do not, they are not skill set. They are not, they must be, we have to create in such a way that they should be skill set and ornament for any industry. And that kind of work process we must have to develop at the institutional level. And that's innovation create a value, and value creation to the society, particularly skill education or skill set to the students are concerned. And we must have to develop that kind of creativity among them. And certainly these are the emerging area of industry 4.0, and this student can create a startup, and also they can not only depends on job, they will create the job. That's the beauty of this thing. And Government of India has already established or come out with a policy, and also at a institutional level we have a MHRD, Institution Innovation Council. There is a policy of national policy startup and innovation policy for higher education came out by MHRD, that we must have to understand, and we have to connect the dot and create such kind of ecosystem. Then only our institution will be a valuable institution in the region that flourish, not only flourish the students, it will create opportunity of collaboration with various industries, academia and government time to time. And also the protection is very, very, because you know university or institution have the largest talent pool, and if they have the knowledge and solution for that problem, that must be protected. That is the best idea they have, and that idea must be prototyped, developed, and also protect as a patent. Because if you are IP savvy institution, you have your own credibility, and government of India has a ARIA ranking, auto ranking for institution innovation. And also government of India through DPIIT came out with a annual report who are the IP savvy institution in the country. So if you are in that position, certainly you will make the difference, and certainly you will get more opportunity, and also explore the more opportunity of collaboration with government, and also various agency. So there is a paradigm shift through innovation, and you must have to look that. And innovation is nothing but the new ideas and value creation. And the way I will give you this example, how these three students has developed a artificial intelligence based stethoscope, provide effective osculation of diagnosis of heart and lung disease. And this I think is will be the important weapon, or the opportunity for all the doctor of this medical community. And these three students now not only giving the product to the nation, to the society, but also they are giving the innovation to the human civilization for diagnosing this kind of diseases. At the same time, they are able to create the job to the people in the country. So this is innovation, this is value creation, and this is the role of Industry 4.0. Artificial intelligence how plays a very important role, particularly in diagnosis such kind of disease. And protection is very, very important. And the invention what they have developed, it is patented. Patented means the invention has a industrial applicability and originality, as well as somebody will also put the money in terms of investment in your company, because your invention is new invention and original invention. There is no issues of infringement and piracy or issues of litigation in that process of innovation. So that we must have to understand when we talk about IoT. I talked about National Innovation Startup Policy. We have a Startup India mission. Many opportunities there. Those who are the startup, we have a excellent online. You can register as a startup, and if you register once as a Startup India under DPIIT, Department of Promotion of Internal Trade. Once you register, you will get all kind of regulatory permission and approval, and also intellectual property protection is very, very important. And organization like NRDC, we help all startup, if they are registered as a DIPP or DPIIT in India, Startup India registration, we take care all their IP, including patent, trademark, design, copyright, everything we protect, help in filing and protecting, and also bear the cost for the same also. That kind of opportunity you will achieve. And once you protect your intangible asset, IP, ultimately you have the ownership, originality, and also you have the supremacy as well as the monopoly of your invention, because you are the creator. That you must have to understand. You are the creator, you are the inventor, you are the author. That thing you must have to understand, since you are in academics and doing a lot of research and development activity. We have all this we have an excellent Startup India mission. Self-certification is there, income tax exemption are there, patent services are there, many opportunities are there, and it's online, you can do. And if you are recognized, you will get all kind of compliance mechanism, and also other opportunity of funding from the government of India. So friends, IoT startup in India. Can you tell me how many IoT startup are there in India? India has so far, it has been reported that 1500 IoT startup. Industry Outlook and Startup Showcase at IoT Next 2019. The IoT startup are spread across various sectors with managed service leading to PEC IoT service for 480. Transport 287, consumer 273, commercial 246, industrial 173, retail 173, agri 162, wellness 150, and utility 82. These are the sector of technology related to IoT, and that are playing in the country very excellently, and they are doing excellent, particularly today. And many budding engineer are moving toward this kind of activity, and that's the beauty to the nation, creating a new revolution in IoT, making the difference and making comfortable to the people, which is accessible, adaptable, and available to the common people of the country. So analytics of IoT, making sense of data, and from a sensor that all these things, but at the same time, the key requirement for IoT success is all data protection, data discovery, data visualization, because data is important in part in IoT, and data must have to manage properly. And how you are going to manage the data, how you are having the ownership of the intellectual property protection on particularly IoT, in the form of software, in the form of patent, in software in the form of copyright, because software cannot be patentable in India. If software is embedded with hardware, that can be patentable in India. Trademark, because trademark is nothing but the brand of that IoT company, the market, who will going to rule the game, and also design what kind of a new design you are putting into that design also you have to protect, because these are the intangible asset that plays a very important role in Internet of Things success, particularly ownership, originality, and also monopoly is very, because the creator must have to keep monopoly, because it is his and her creation, that we must have to understand. These are the top 10 IoT startup in 2019, and still now no one from India, all are from European countries. That so they are in data analytics, micro factories, cyber security. So that how they are making the ruling in the game in internationally, that's we must have to understand, and creating the difference, making the difference, that we must have to understand. And also, I'll just like to tell you how this is one of the startup companies under in IoT, particularly NUS technology, of for counterfeit-proof solution for brand security and tracking, established by one young chap, Kaushik Banerjee. The startup has assembled packaging of security technology that can be confirmed by means of a cell phone, and expected 150 billion is spent every year on security of package to identify and forestall tampering. So the proprietary innovation by NUS depends on dynamic digital signature generation and goes past the capabilities of current solution like multi-dimensional image, QR code, NFC. This startup, because of this innovation, have a great impact. Government of India also through Department of Science and Technology has supported, Intel has also supported, and also IIT Bombay signed, one of the incubation hub of IIT Bombay has also supported, and this startup doing excellent. And these one of the top 10 startup in India as far as NUS technology is concerned. So that we must have to understand and think how IoT, how intellectual property plays an important role in Industry 4.0 or IoT, blockchain, artificial intelligence, that we have to see practically and take the ownership, protect the IP. Protection and is nothing but the value creation of yours and your institution, because protection gives you the value. And under this WTO era, without protection, everything will be the infringement. So protection, monopoly, and then only creativity can flourish, and connection and collaboration will be possible, because originality is matter. And that's why intellectual property is one of the biggest challenge for IoT, blockchain, and artificial intelligence. In this also, NRDC, in our part at this challenging time, let me tell you that we have come out with a solution, compendium of technology related to COVID-19, tracing, testing, and treating. And some of the technology are also associated with artificial intelligence and IoT, and we are trying to commercialize this kind of technology at this challenging time, so that people of this country will get the benefit, particularly this innovation are concerned. Any innovation to IoT and AI related to COVID-19, you are most welcome to discuss with me. We will protect your patent free of cost. We will help you in prototype development and also market survey, and also commercial as a commercial priority project will support you and give you the grant. So you are most welcome if you have any kind of solution in your mind at this challenging time. So NRDC as a national organization, we all kind of facility from we connect the dot from lab to the land or lab to the industry in terms of your invention, innovation, value creation, and we support not only from IPR perspectives, we help in technology evaluation, pilot plant studies, IP management, regulatory approvals, market survey, marketing of the process and product, seed funding, skill development, prototype development, field testing, market survey, incubation surveys. We give national awards, innovation awards, particularly for premium innovation, budding innovation, and also societal innovation. And we transfer the technology from lab to the industry, and industry, whatever the money we receive, we share with the lab and the inventor. And every year we collect the royalty from the industry and share the this royalty with the institution. That kind of value creation we create and connect between academia and industry. That's our role, and that's we are doing in the country. And we have also established institutional innovation center in various universities in the country, so that their patent can be protected, that can be commercialized, and also that can be there can be a possibility of research and development collaboration, contract research, granted research, and collaborative research, and many more other research. So IoT, this is a transformative effect of IoT and blockchain and artificial intelligence in the on cloud computing, and there is a gradual evolution, vision, and trend of this open challenge of this technology. We must have to understand, and also we have to create that kind of curriculum to the student, so that they can be a ornament in tomorrow in the knowledge market. So anything, if you are coming with prototype or startup and going venturing to the market is foggy, the future is foggy. So how, for that you must have to protect your brand, protect your technology, protect your design, protect everything, so that you must not infringe others' intellectual property. And if you are infringing others, you are not only damaging yourself, you are damaging to the company, and you are damaging to the country. So IPR is the biggest challenge today as far as the innovation is concerned, particularly for research commercialization, industry 4.0, artificial intelligence, IoT, blockchain, access to technology, and also piracy is the one of the biggest challenge as far as India is concerned. And because of the piracy, India has kept a priority watch list by the US Department of Commerce called Special 301 provision, and there is a problem of fund for research and development. If your institution are doing piracy or any kind of infringement, ultimately you will be blacklisted. And the policy of the government through MHRD and also through UGC, there is a bigger system of punishment are there, because intellectual property is a legal right, and legal violation is not only damage to you, damage to the institution, damage to the country, and then only we can stop imitation, piracy, and spurious process and product which are selling in the market. So you must have to look into that aspect. And whenever you are doing any research work, you look into that MOU or agreement what you are signing with the various industry, and keep that intellectual property right ownership with you, so that it will be a ornament for you in this knowledge economy. As far as intellectual property protection, management, and commercialization is concerned, this will give accessibility to technology transfer, and also private industry can collaborate with you. And this is the need of the time when we talked about academia industry collaboration and value creation in the country. So as far as Article 27 of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, everyone has the right to protect the moral and material interest resulting from their scientific literary work. That's why you are going to protect your IP, and Government of India time to time, Prime Minister of India time to time advise and also request for innovate, patent, produce, and prosper. And he told that these 4 steps will lead to the country toward the faster development, and intellectual property plays a very important role. Those countries who have the intellectual property protection, management, and also ownership, they rule the game in the knowledge economy today, because imagination is more important than knowledge, and the patent system added the fuel to the interest of fire to the genus that we must have to understand at this in this WTO economy. So we have to look into that, and there are various type of intellectual property: patent, trademark, design, copyright, industrial design, protection of plant varieties, copyright, all these things are there. We must have to protect, because this is the right and this is the creativity we are protecting. And government of India is also giving opportunity of recognition, reward, and incentive. Those who have the IP, those who have the patent, they have a great recognition and also possible collaboration in getting research funding, research collaboration, and also opportunity to connect the industry in this time, because intellectual property is an intangible asset of the country and the nation. And nation, it gives opportunity to the nation in global economy as far as national innovation ecosystem is concerned. So intellectual property is nothing but creation of the mind, such as invention, literary and artistic work, design, symbol, which are used in the commerce. So friends, just I would like to tell you, this is one of the patents filed by one startup related to artificial intelligence, I think related to analyzing a system for analyzing the risk associated with the cough sound. Uh, and this one startup got it, and through artificial intelligence, that the technology will able to know what kind of disease the person is having. And through this, they have ventured to the market, and now they have a great startup, and that startup making the difference under the Startup India mission. Because intellectual property or the patent give you the trust, give you the opportunity of hope, and give you the opportunity of investment, and give you the opportunity of making the difference in the society at this challenging time. So Startup India mission has a lot of opportunity. You look into that, and it is a government of India mission. And those country, those institution who have the highest number of IoT patent, they rule the game. They have the monopoly, and they have the brand, they have the supremacy in the field of this IoT, that we must have to understand. Intellectual property must be created, must be protected, and there should be exploitation of intellectual property. Then only we can create a vibrant innovation ecosystem in this national innovation ecosystem. So these are the many patents related to top 10 patent filed related to Industry 4.0 or 5 SCP standard essential patent related to 5G. And these are the number of blockchain and AI patent being filed in 2017. And also these are the patent file related to digital technology in globally in the country. And these are the companies who are playing very important role and making the difference and having the ownership and also supremacy in the field of this technology in the form of filing of patent in European Patent Office. You know, patent is a jurisdictional right, territorial right. You have a patent in India, you have the right in India, and you have a patent in US, you have the right in US. So if you want to commercialize your patent in across the globe, you have to protect your patent across the globe and across the various country. So that kind of ownership you have to take, because patents gives the hope, and patent gives the originality of the product and trust of the product, at the same time monopoly. And also let me also tell you, patent gives the value of invention, innovation, and value creation. And that's the role of intellectual property in 21st century knowledge economy. So I hope you have watched this movie called Three Idiot, how intellectual property plays an important role as far as the movie story, I mean, has taken from Chetan Bhagat. And there was issues of copyright between Bidhu Vinod Chopra and Chetan Bhagat. At the same time, in that movie, you might have observed how the Funsung Wangdu has 400 patent, and for that patent, his friend only came, Chatur Ramalingam, and want to get the patent so that he can commercialize the new process and product in the market. So this is how the engineering science is making difference today, bringing new innovation and out of box, so that we can create the difference in the society. Because without engineering science, we will not able to make a sustainable innovation, manufacturing innovation ecosystem in the country. We need engineer, we need idea, we need prototype, we need to scale up. Then we can transfer this process and product to the market. Then people of this country will get benefit. That is innovation, value creation, and also intellectual property. In this respect, we also organize many industry academia interaction to bringing improvement the quality of academics. We connect the industry to many academia, and also help academia in terms of IP protection, in terms of value creation of their R&D infrastructure, R&D ecosystem, and R&D grants. And also we help industry in bringing new technology and transfer of new technology, and industry certainly make the process and product available to the people of this country. So another issues today is that in India is number 3, particularly on copyright on licensed software selling in the country, and we are 58%. That means how on licensed software are selling, and this kind of piracy damage the country. And for that we need to enhance. And if IoT and IoT will come, certainly it will be a biggest challenge. So that kind of protection and enforcement we must have to create, so that we must not be blamed as a country, those countries who violate intellectual property and piracy, that we must have to understand. So innovation, intellectual property challenge for particularly industry 4.0 is we need a strong requirement of highly skilled workforce with high retention rate. We need a rigorous quality control, because entire patent grant system is under the ISO 9001 certified. There should be a search of because patent must be, once somebody going to file a patent, we do the patent search whether it will be a patentable or not, that we have to understand. And examination of the patent must be also smooth, particularly related to all this computer related invention or software, this kind of invention related to industry 4.0. And also there is a interdisciplinary technical division of the examiner we have to create in examination of the patent application related to industry 4.0. And also there must be a guideline for patent examination and re-examination of ICT sector under the one management team, and creation of specialized industry 4.0 director and team, particularly to evaluate the intellectual property or the patent filed by various institution, organization, industry, government, startup, and MSME, so that the MSME will all these stakeholders will get benefit, and the country will get benefit. And certainly this IoT, blockchain, and also artificial intelligence, new technology is going to revolutionize the ecosystem of the human society, and certainly make the difference today, so that we can manage, mitigate such kind of challenge what we are going through. So thank you all of you. I look forward to your question, and we can interact. Thank you, Madam Professor Kota, for inviting me. And friends, the problem is never how to get new innovative thought into our mind, but how to get the old one out. We must have to look into that aspect, and we have to bring the change. We must have to change as per the demand of the time. And if we are not changing ourselves, then we are gone, because missing the boat is the missing the game and missing the opportunity in this 21st century knowledge economy. Thank you, Dr. Sujata Kota, for inviting me. Thank you, participants. I look forward to your question, and you keep my mobile number and email ID. If you have any query, you can send an email to me, and also you can talk to me and also get benefit as far as our services and opportunities to academia is concerned. Thank you. God bless you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dr. B.K. Sahu, sir. This is a very informative session. I request the participants to start the interaction. Yes, Kasima Madam.
Yeah. Ma'am, good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Madam.
Sir, actually, my question is due to this pandemic situation, not only India, all the world, every country are facing problems. So what will be the steps we need to do for the development of our country in this IoT or some other field? As a citizen, what we need to do, will you please give the suggestions for us?
Let me tell you, Madam, every individual have many idea, and many idea have the opportunity of solution what we are going through. I did not give some of the example related to some of the invention in recent time we have commercialized or taken from various universities, institution, and also given a license to industry for manufacturing of that kind of technology. Today, when we talked about this pandemic, there is a contamination, and as it is a pandemic, there is a chance of all kind of transmission. How you are coming with solution, particularly when you are sitting in your office or going to your college or going meeting to your the various people. So how you are going to mitigate and what kind of new process? Now we are talking about mask. Many kind of masks are coming today. So beside mask, PPE kits, let me tell you about this PPE kits. India was importing PPE kits from China, but today we are in export potential. After March, under the Atmanirbhar Bharat, many MSME are manufacturing PPE kits, and every day India is getting 3 lakhs PPE kits. So point is that from necessity is mother of invention. So at this challenging time, we don't have anything, but we have to develop to mitigate such kind of challenge. And now we are capable enough to create, because we have a great demographic deviant. I think we have 11,000 engineering college. That means how many engineers are there in the country? Give them an opportunity for solution. Ultimately, they will come out. We have 900 university. So what is the use of this university? University is not for only, teaching this British rule books. We need practical orientation, we need skill set, we need academia industry collaboration, and we need to give a exposure to the industry to the student, so that the student are engineer. They are not they will just not go through the books and being a bookies, and there is no practical orientation on that. So the way you are giving a training to a MBBS student while he was doing MBBS, interact with every day with various patients, same way we have to give that kind of orientation to the student of engineer, those who are doing engineering, giving opportunity to industrial exposure, not only 2-month internship with all cut paste copy document. That we must have to create. Now we must have to create practically, and that skill set will be the ornament of that student tomorrow in the market. That we must have to understand.
So there are participants from various places. How can we start the innovations?
So let me tell you, I'll start with small is beautiful. And how we are innovative, that we must have to understand the problem. What kind of problem we are facing, how we will come out with the solution. And for that solution, research and development is not only the way, because you all are the engineer, you have the own way of thinking out of box for that solution. So for that, let me tell you, for if you are qualified enough for research and development, certainly you go for, as I told you, some of the research and development opportunity in Ministry of Information Technology, Samarth program, and Government of India policy towards IoT, Research Park, PPP model of Center of Excellence. So you connect and collaborate, then only you will able to, once you part of that creativity, ultimately you will make the difference. Let me tell you, in Visakhapatnam, one of the colleges, one of the student came out with a disinfectant, and just he came and he told that he wanted to design for that. And now we are not only design, we are protecting the patent and design, and also we are helping in prototype development and scaling up, so that industry will take that technology and that will be useful for everyone across the country. So that small idea gives a great opportunity in the knowledge society and credibility of that institution tomorrow. So we need to create that kind of ecosystem, and capacity building is very, very important. Faculty must know what are the benefits they are going to get if they will get a research and development project. Research must not be confined to books and theory. Research must be to the development and development opportunity, connection of collaboration opportunity with industry. That orientation we must have to create. Also, someone is asking, is there any minimum qualification to approach NRDC? No, everyone are eligible for application. Vijayji, and all are eligible for patent assistance. All are eligible for copyright, trademark, design, and also any kind of program, capacity building program. You all are eligible. There is no any kind of differentiation or discrimination.
Robina madam.
Can you hear me, ma'am? Because I am audible.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. So my question is it like we should only give suggestions on technical topics, or like patents can be only for the technical issues, or any non-technical topic can be also the part of the patent and development of the society, which is useful?
let me clarify you. Anyone can protect a patent. There is nothing, only technical people can only file a patent. Anyone who have the idea of solution of problem, any problem, any challenge, if you are developing a new idea in terms of new process and products, that can be patentable and anyone can file a patent. There is no discrimination that only engineer can file the patent or only scientist can file the patent. Anyone can file the patent.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Sahu sir, good evening.
Good evening, Murli Garu.
Sir, regarding the trademarks, so regarding the trademarks and the logos, can you put some air on it?
So can I so point, I will start with one Hindi buzzword, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. So point is that the whatever the product we are using in the market, just like this is a Tetley tea. Tetley is one of the product of Tata Tea, and we recognize this logo and we purchase, and that is the brand. So any goods and product which we are selling in the market has the brand, and that is nothing but the brand protection or trademark protection. Trademark which appeal to our eye. The way when we see State Bank of India logo, that means we recognize it is a State Bank of India, and we go and get the cash from the ATM. So point is that that means we recognize the logo, we recognize the brand, we trust that organization. So the way when you goes to Delhi or Mumbai, you looks for a good restaurant where you can get a good dosa and idli. So point today is that how you will get a good dosa and idli. Certainly you know some of the brand. That brand is Shravana Bhavan, some of the South Indian chain companies. So these are the brand, and these are the company who have protected their brand, and that kind of trust they have built. And you goes to, maybe you may goes to Bikaner Wala, or you may be Agrawal Sweets. So these are the, they have created the brand, and that we appeal to our eye, that test we like it, and that we go. So brand protection, or to recognize any, the way I recognize the logo of Daddy Institute of Engineering Technology, the in Visakhapatnam, I recognize by seeing the logo of Gitam University. I will recognize by seeing the IIM Visakhapatnam logo. I will, oh, this is IIM. So everything is protected as in a logo, and that logo is nothing but a brand. And that in that brand, let me tell you, Murli Garu, there was a company called Kingfisher. You know, once upon a time, Kingfisher has a great brand. Okay, so point today is that that brand. There is a brand valuation, and there is a company organization called brand valuate who evaluate the brand. So when there is a merger or acquisition of any companies, that brand also evaluated. What is the cost of that brand, and that brand can be transferred. Today, if you will talk about the logo of Microsoft, the logo of Apple, the logo of IBM, these are the brand. We recognize, we trust, we believe, we pay for that. The way you recognize the goods and products. Suppose I will give you a particular Rasagola, and that Rasagola, if I'll tell it is a Odisha Rasagola, ultimately you will like, oh, there is a Odisha Rasagola is protected as a GI, and it is original goods. There is a Anakhapali Jaggery. You are sitting at Anakhapali. Anakhapali Jaggery has a special value that can be also protected as a GI. That product has a value, brand, and also geographically originated from a particular place. Araku coffee, Pachampalli Ikkat, Bikaner Bhujia, Agra ka Petha. These are also goods and product, not only protected as a GI, and also protected, can be protected as a trademark. They like Anakhapali Jaggery trademark. Somebody can put it. That is brand creation. And so that we must have to protect, and trademark is very, very important, and it's called trade name. And in the trade name, you are eligible to export the product. Without trade name or trademark, you are not eligible to export your product. That we must have to understand.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Archana madam will be presenting the vote of thanks for this RIoT SIM. So we thank all the participants for joining the sessions for all the 6 days. Madam, please continue. Okay, ma'am. Good evening, one and all. I, Archana BT, Assistant Professor in ECE Department, on behalf of Daddy Institute of Engineering and Technology, would like to propose a vote of thanks in the validatory of 1-week workshop on role of Internet of Things in Startup India mission. I extend my sincere thanks to our delegate, Dr. B.K. Sahu sir, Regional Manager and Head NRDC, for giving an excellent session on IoT and intellectual property under Startup India mission. It was a wonderful session where we came to know about the IoT markets in India, government schemes to support IoT market, and service offered by NRDC to society, patent filing and all. In this moment, I am sincerely expressing my gratitude to all the plenary speakers from day one. Dr. H. Purushottam sir, Chairman and Managing Director of NRDC, and Sri M.T. Dubey sir, Joint Director and Officer in charge STPA, have guided us for identifying the problem, finding a technological solution, finding the financial aids for startup. Both our speakers were encouraging us for startup. They have extended their hands to help us in all means. On the third and the fourth day, we were having a session with Sri Kaushalendra Singh Sisodia, Director of Unique Converge Technologies. Starting from the basics of 5G to IoT architecture, design requirements, privacy, security, all challenges we will face while attempting for an IoT project were discussed on the third and fourth day of the workshop. Yesterday, we had an excellent session with Dr. Suresh Babu sir, Assistant Professor of CSE Department, NIT Warangal. His topic was on the role of IoT in smart city development, where he discussed different areas of applications of IoT. I'm extremely thankful to all the delegates who shared their knowledge, which will be of great help in our field. Today, when we are winding up our workshop, we are grateful to have Sahu sir. I remember the suggestions and the guidance he gave to our students when he visited our college. Thank you, sir. I acknowledge the unwavering support we received from our chairman, Sri Dari Regnagar sir, and our principal, Dr. C.H. Prabhakar Rao sir. I am immensely thankful to Dr. K. Sujata madam, our convener of this workshop, for her untiring works from beginning to end. My thanks goes to all the coordinators who helped us from behind the screen. Finally, I sincerely thank each and every participant. I hope you accomplished what you were looking for while registering the event. Thank you, one and all.